guys? Welcome back to GSL Code A. I'm Wolf, with me is Torch.
How you guys doing? So we are moving into our second set here for the second day of the round of 16 Code A. Our first set was a 2-1 in favor of Von Vons from NS Hoso over MVP Tails.
Yep. And coming up now, we've got Sheth versus Puzzle.
FXO, Foreigners.
I was actually out with Sheth last night, and we were walking around. No, we were just walking around.
Doing that.
It wasn't late. No, it was like 8:30, man.
Okay.
We were walking around, and we met someone, and Sheth didn't know him, and he was like, "Who are you playing against tomorrow?" And Sheth goes, he points up to the sky. I'm like, "What are you pointing at, Sheth?" There's this big bar that's called Puzzle, and I was just like, "Yeah, he's playing against Puzzle tomorrow." It was pretty funny.
Hopefully he didn't play against Puzzle last night as well. He didn't. Here perfectly prepared for this match.
I was like, Sheth, we got to go home. So we went home.
Good.
We did.
He's a very responsible guy, very mannered guy as well.
I'm really like, I was like, Sheth, we got to go home. Sheth's like, nah. I'm like, no, Sheth, we got to go home. Come on.
I'm pretty sure it was the other way around.
No,
trying to drag you home.
No, man. It wasn't
irresponsible Wolf.
He's right over there. Just ask him. I'm serious.
All right, we'll get him out of the game and ask him that question. Are you sure you're ready for this game here?
We made jokes because obviously Unstable, his tooth, he had a tooth problem, so I had to come, or Torch rather had to come and cast with me. And Sheth was like, I'll cast you, except I'm playing. I was like, no, what we're going to do is we're going to set up my casting booth inside the booth with you. I'm going to sit with you. I'm going to coach you through the game.
We should definitely do that. All right, here is Sheth, the man that we were all talking about. Zerg player from FX Open. He is a North American player. Actually, USA, so he can be part of Team USA.
Yeah.
Artosis were to come back.
He's from Florida.
Florida? Oh. So he should be kind of accustomed to the weather here right now?
Yeah.
Really hot and humid in Korea.
It is. There he is looking at us, smiling, giving the thumbs up. He's ready. He was a little nervous last night. I talked to him about it, and he said, he said, win or lose, if I win, it's great. If I lose, at least I won't have to worry about Code A anymore. I won't be stressed all the time. That's what he told me.
Oh, he's going to win.
I think he very well might. He has prepared a lot against this guy, Zenex Puzzle.
Puzzle 2-0ing MMA. That's kind of ridiculous. MMA, the finalist. Kind of. Only a little bit ridiculous. MMA was the finalist of the Super Tournament last season. He also recently went to MLG, the North American tournament, and won that very decisively.
That's true.
So Puzzle winning in Code A against him is a huge victory for him.
Yeah, not only did he win against him in Code A, though, he knocked him into Code B, so now MMA has to requalify. And as good as MMA is, I don't know, it's not going to be easy to requalify. It never is. It just never is. Even if you're MC, if you're Polt Prime, I don't know if those guys could requalify. There's so many different variables.
But these players here today do not need to requalify. The top 16 of Code A get an auto berth into next Code A. But the top 8 get into the up and down matches, so that's what these guys are really fighting for today. Once you get over this hump, then you are able to relax a little bit more. It's either first or 8th, essentially, at that point. But the maps we are going to have here today, we're going to start on Xel'Naga Caverns. We're going to move to Crevasse, and then if there's a third game, we're going to have Metalopolis.
That's exactly right. I think that Xel'Naga Caverns is a map that Sheth doesn't feel as comfortable on as he does Crevasse and Metalopolis. That's what he's told me, so this is going to be the rough map for him, but we'll see how he does.
And he does have a lot of experience on Xel'Naga Caverns, so while he isn't exactly comfortable with it, he should be prepared for it.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's played Xel'Naga Caverns. It's the most commonly played tournament, ladder, everything map. Everyone's seen it a billion times, so...
It's a very well-balanced map, but it also has a lot of different stages of the game, so you do get to see a lot of different play, and there's a lot of different openings that you can bring into it as well.
Very true. We're going to jump into that game right now. Alright, down here at the bottom left, a member of the team FX Open, known as the Mannered Zerg. He's very good mannered, online and in real life. He is...
Very difficult, FXO, Sheth.
Very difficult for Koreans to say his name.
Yeah. They don't have the TH sounds.
Yeah.
Or the SH sounds.
Exactly. They do have to say like Sheth, kind of like that.
Sheth.
Now over here at the top right, a member of the team Zenex.
Puzzle.
Puzzle. Looks kind of like a puzzle little thing he was doing there with his hands. Interesting wall off by Puzzle. And he's sitting his first probe right after that pylon. Pylon scouting, as it's called.
Yeah, and this probe is scouting very early. He wants to be comfortable exactly what Sheth is doing. These players from Korea don't really get to play against a lot of foreign styles, so they might be a little bit more timid or a little bit more scared of what could be coming out of it. It's really starting to converge a bit more, but it's just a mind game that gets played right in the beginning of the game.
Exactly. So we are going to see a speedling expand from Sheth. Pool first, or gas first into pool. Right now, Puzzle has made an interesting wall. If he's added his first gas, he's going to make his cybernetics core below that gateway to kind of form a hallway between the gateway, the core, and the pylon, because sometimes on this map, if you don't wall off just perfectly with that type of hallway, the Zerglings can just push your Zealot out of the way. There was a better way to wall off, I think, on this map, so I'm still kind of waiting to see what he's going to do. I feel like he might have something sneaky planned.
Yeah, and Puzzle did steal a few minerals there from Sheth and is going to leave his probe here to delay this expansion just a little bit. Every few seconds you can keep from this hatchery going down is really crucial in the later part of the game.
Exactly. Sheth not even pulling a second drone just yet to deal with this. He's going to back away with that drone, in fact, making 4 lings.
Yep, he spends his minerals on a queen and 4 lings, so he doesn't even have the minerals for an expansion quite yet. This was a change in his plan. It wasn't originally the way that he wanted it to go, but I'm sure he's prepared for something like this to happen.
Yeah, this does happen all the time to Zergs. It's a painful thing, but it's just a common thing. I do it to Zergs all the time. Now, the second gas is finishing up for Puzzle. Back at his base, he did wall off, like I said, he formed a little hallway. It's still a little strange to me that this pylon is exposed rather than having it behind, because you can form a hallway with a pylon behind on this map. If someone actually, I'm actually really curious about this. If someone knows about his wall off that where is better than, you know, walling off with the hallway on the left side of that little choke point, they should message me on Twitter about it, because I really want to know.
Yeah, you're still within range of any sort of range units on the low ground from the Zerg, so it doesn't give you any sort of extra ability. And here we do get a shot of it right now.
It's just, if a bust comes through or roaches come through, that pylon's exposed, and if it dies, then your gateway and your cybernetics core become unpowered. So it's a little strange. It's a good wall off. I mean, I'm looking at it now, it walls off. The Zerglings can't get inside. It's just unusual.
Yep. Maybe he's trying to keep his pylon away from the rest of his building, so if banelings do come in, then he minimizes the amount of damage that those banelings can do.
Maybe so. Now we're going to see 2 gates added here for Puzzle. He's going to do a 3-gate sentry expand, which is the most common bread and butter PvZ build out there right now.
And he has a second sentry queued up, so he's going to try to get a lot of those sentries, focus his gas on that primarily.
Yeah. When you go for this sentry heavy build, the sentries can play a very defensive role, but you start to bank up a lot of minerals, and that's when you make your Nexus, your Forge, etc.
Yep. And also getting those sentries early on lets you get the energy that you need for later in the game, so you can have a smaller number of sentries do the same job as a large number later on.
Exactly. Zerglings want to come up here and scout. Puzzle actually smartly has hidden his sentries and made a Stalker. So right now, Sheth could be thinking that he's going for some type of 4-gate build, a Stargate build, because when you see the Stalker, it usually means tech, but he's hidden the sentries for so long, and now he's going to show them, though, as he breaks down the ramp.
Sheth sees both of those sentries, he sees the pylon go down, so he knows that Puzzle's going to want to go for an expansion. He has an Overlord in the back of Puzzle's base, but he's not able to see a whole lot with it.
He comes in, though, with the second Overlord. He sent 2 Overlords into Puzzle's base, lost the one at the top, but did see the 3 gateways, though, with his second Overlord. He's made a ton of speedlings here.
Yeah, and these speedlings are going to come across the map. Just try to delay this expansion as much as possible. Those sentries are able to defend the main base, but it's really, really hard for them to zone out the speedlings, so that Puzzle is forced to cancel. And he throws down a Forge now to be able to get the cannons up before trying to get that expansion once again.
Yeah, the main reason you make this many Zerglings is to force force fields. You force the Nexus to cancel if you can. Otherwise, you force there to be force fields to block the Nexus. And either way, it's a good thing. It's more cost efficient. Even if you lose a lot of Zerglings, if you use all those force fields up, it allows you to be very aggressive afterwards. Sheth has added a Roach War, and he's getting +1 melee attack right now. Coming again to try to force the cancel on this Nexus, but I think there are too many units for Puzzle. Has to back away.
And we do see that specific number of 6 sentries out, the 7th one being warped in, so he is going to be able to get a lot of force fields down if those Zerglings are going to try to go for a run-by.
Very true indeed. Also using that Forge as a wall off. He's going to make a gateway below that cannon to completely isolate that cannon, and it looks like Sheth is sending a drone out to take a very fast hidden base over here at the 9 o'clock spot. Puzzle has been known to be very aggressive with his 3 gateways after making that Nexus. Doesn't add any additional gateways, just gets aggressive as his Nexus is finishing. That does catch a lot of Zergs off guard.
And Sheth sending his drone up there to be able to expand, but he decides, no, I don't necessarily want to do that. Maybe it's just scouting. And he starts to send it back, but now he's going to send it back to the expansion once again.
Here's that aggression I was talking about from Puzzle. If Zergs get greedy, he likes to punish them. Using a ton of sentries and stalkers moving forward here. He's going to make a pylon next to the gold minerals so it can't really be surrounded by Zerglings. A nice run by coming through from Sheth. There is 1 sentry here back at home to help defend this.
There is the sentry to be able to defend. Wow, that's a really nice force field placement trying to defend the photon cannon, but we do have an engagement going on. Sheth's natural base going right now. The Spine Crawls are trying to get up. If you can get those up, you should be able to defend against this relatively easily. We have a lot of Roaches and Speedlings coming in as well. The +1 upgrade for the melee units is almost finished. If he can get that, his army will be a lot more powerful. But Puzzle warps in a pylon in the back behind the shrubberies here and is able to kill a lot of these units that were morphing in.
Yeah, it's the problem when you're in this situation as a Zerg player. You've got all those units about to pop, but when they do pop, they're isolated. They get killed as they spawn. He is going to lose his hatchery. Zergling's coming to run by again. There's so many sentries, but he doesn't react quickly. Some of the Zerglings do get in.
Some get in, but not enough to actually be able to do any damage. The rest of the Zerglings were getting isolated and are going to be able to get picked off by this Photon Cannon. The force fields are very nicely placed by Puzzle, and he's just cleaning up this last little bit of resistance at the natural of Sheth.
He is going to take out most of these Stalkers, if not all of them. The problem, though, is that there's a forward pylon there he can reinforce, but even so, he's lost his natural. Great positioning on those force fields. These units cannot be surrounded by Speedlings or drones. The Roaches can't even get close enough to fire. Sheth in a really bad spot here.
And Puzzle doing a great job of keeping his units alive. He's only lost 10 units in this entire game so far. He's being extremely efficient.
Sheth actually kept most of his drones alive despite losing that hatchery. Hold that thought. Some sentries trying to force field save themselves here. He is going to take out this Overlord as well as those isolated Zerglings. The pylon, though, will fall. This is going to end the attack of Puzzle, but he's done so much damage with this. It's hard to imagine a world in which Sheth can come back.
That is true, but Sheth is going to try and stay on until the very last minute. He is getting a second hatchery back up here to get his natural once again. The problem is that he is down 31 Harvesters to 46 of the Protoss player. And with the Protoss already having 2 Nexi, he is getting very efficient economy going on right now and can Chrono Boost out a lot more probes if he wants to get a third very soon.
Yeah, he's already got that robotics up as well. He's getting an Observer out. He's adding a Twilight Council and additional gateways. Getting that +1 weapons at his forge, so he's going to have some great upgrades here. He's going to start making Immortals to deal with the Roaches that Sheth has going on.
Yep.
Sheth actually long-distance mining from that 9 o'clock base. Surprisingly, was worried about his drones dying, I think.
We also have a Twilight Council, and it is starting to research Blink right now. As soon as he gets Blink and that +1 upgrade, it's probably going to trigger him to do another attack on Sheth's natural, try to keep it down. If you can take it down one more time, that's really going to secure him the victory.
Yeah, losing that hatchery means losing a lot of production, a lot of mining, but at the same time, Sheth kept a decent army and he didn't really lose that many drones, so he's been able to kind of keep producing an army, so he's not as behind as many Zergs would be in the situation, because usually when you lose that natural, you lose a lot of drones with it.
Yep.
And Sheth just did not, so that's looking... That's one thing that's going okay for him here. He's remade that natural. This Observer comes over here, sees that, sees the Roach count for Sheth,
and he's also going to see the Baneling Nest going up, so he will be able to prepare against that quite nicely. The Immortals are coming out like you were talking about before. +1 is almost finished. Blink is about 75% done, and he's just got a really large Stalker count at the moment as well at 10.
Yeah, he's adding actually 4 more right after you said that, going up to those 14 Stalkers. Blink finishing up, +1 finishing up. I think he's going to attack now, and in fact he is. But as he moves out, the Zerglings come in.
Yeah, Zergling's trying to do a nice little counterattack, keep that army delayed as long as possible, give him the chance to get a lot of those extra reinforcements that he was looking for. Baneling Nest just finishes, 12 Zerglings come out, queues up a few more. He might actually be able to hold this if he can get the right army in the right position at the right time.
12 Banelings being morphed. He is going to try to hold this using these Banelings. His Overlord drops might be done in time, but I'm not sure if they will. He's going to remake a pylon here at the gold base. Like I said, it's the best place to make it.
Some of these Roaches going a little too greedy right now. They are going to get isolated by themselves. It's only going to lose 2 before backing off, but a lot of damage was taken that he didn't necessarily need. The Stalker's moving in to take out the Spine Crawler before the fight actually begins.
Overlord drops not done yet. Sheth trying to buy time. He's got Roaches on 2 sides so he can flank.
There's a really scary army from the Protoss player. Sheth is not quite ready to engage it quite yet.
The hatchery falls. Here come the Banelings. He's not waiting anymore. Force fields go down all around the army. Roach is attacking from 2 sides, but the Banelings just cannot get in. The drone's coming into fight as well. He has Blink. The Immortal just doing so much damage. He's going to lose that Immortal, but all of the Roaches have fallen and blinking forward on top of the army. Unfortunately for Sheth, I think this is going to be it. GG with a trademark smiley.
Sheth knowing that that was a good game. Didn't end at how he wanted it to, but he is going to be rallying for the next victory.
Indeed he is. Like I said, that's the tough map for Sheth. It's the map he feels least comfortable on against Protoss.
Yep.
There's Unstable coaching him there, saying, I'm sure he's telling him, you know, that game didn't go as you planned. Didn't have enough units out, but it's okay. Calm down, stay calm. So that's really the big issue for Sheth right now, is not his skill level, but his nerves, because he hasn't been in Korea for very long.
Yeah.
Been for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, and playing in those booths is extremely nerve-wracking. This is now his 4th game in the booth, or 4th series in the booth. He played Code A, and then he also played 2 matches of the GSTL last week.
Yeah, so it's just like his literally fourth time in the booth, I guess you could say.
So it is something that nerves are going to be a huge factor in this, but he is a very experienced player as well, so he can rally from this loss quite easily. Yeah. As you were saying, Xel'Naga Cavern's not his strongest map, but these other 2 he's quite comfortable on. I think he's been preparing a lot more on these other 2 maps as well.
He actually has. I mean, I've been in the house with him. For him, Xel'Naga Caverns, he doesn't need to practice on specifically. He practices on it ladder every day. You know, he played on it a million tournaments, so he feels he feels uncomfortable at Xel'Naga Caverns in that he struggles on it, but he doesn't feel uncomfortable about the map. He's like, this is just a bad map for me, and he thinks it's a bad map for Zerg right now. It's difficult for him. So for Crevasse, though, he's like, all right, I don't have as much experience on this. I'm going to grind out some games on this map. And now he's like, oh, I've actually done really well against other pros I've been practicing with. I'll keep those a secret, which ones he's been working with, but he's been doing a lot of practice versus Protoss, and he's been doing extremely well on these maps. He feels really comfortable, so he kind of came into this thinking, I'm going to try to win Xel'Naga Caverns. If I don't, it's okay, though, because the next 2 maps are going to be my maps. Yeah,
and on Xel'Naga Caverns, it did look like he did get dominated, but if you look at the strategies of it, they weren't too far off. The thing is that Puzzle had really, really nice force field placement, just really clutch timings with that, isolated just a few Zerglings when there were counterattacks, kept his army so that it couldn't be surrounded in Sheth's natural. It was just really beautiful play with those force fields.
Yeah, not only that, but his timing with that first attack was really good. Just with the 3 gates, he made a lot of units, cut up probes for a little bit, and attacked. And we're going to jump into the game now on Crevasse.